Good day. My name is Monica D'Amato, and I'm the Director of Corporate Learning and Service Delivery for the National Capital Region with Employment and Social Development Canada. I'm very pleased to be here today to talk about tips for nailing a selection process. I would like to share with you 10 tips that I have, which I think you'll find useful. My first tip is to be ready. What does that mean for you? That means that you've got a CV ready, that you've considered your strengths, your weaknesses, that you have considered whether you're mobile across Canada. You've also thought about what your language profile is and what type of position that you would like to apply for. Where are your competencies that you have? You would want to have put together what I call a record of achievement that talks about leadership competencies, that talks about how you would meet certain qualifications for the position that you are applying for. This is something that you would compile over a period of time and that you would have ready whenever you are going to apply for a new position. The second tip that I have for you is to check jobs.gc.ca on a regular basis. You want to make sure that that perfect job for you doesn't go by without you having the opportunity to apply for it. What it means is also to look at not only the jobs internal to the public service, but also those that are open to the public and those that are open that are for Crown corporations and agencies. You don't want to miss any opportunity for that job that you really want. Now, very important, you only want to apply for those positions for which you actually have the essential qualifications. I know time and time again employees ask me, well, what happens if nobody else applies? And I've submitted my application. Will I be considered for that position? The answer really is no, because for every position that is available, there is at least 10 to 100 people who have been waiting for that job, that are eager to apply, that actually meet all of the essential qualifications and would have more of an opportunity than you for that position. So don't waste your time. Only apply for those positions for which you have the essential qualifications and one or more of the ASIC qualifications. Tip 3, read carefully the poster and the statement of merit criteria. And this is important. Why? Because too many times employees are applying for positions and they have not covered exactly what is being asked for in the poster and the statement of merit criteria. So let me give you an example. If the poster asks for experience in managing people, does it also ask for a certain number of years of significant experience? Does it ask for recent experience? Make sure that you do have those other factors that they are asking for, or else you will be screened out of that process. My fourth tip is to have your cover letter ready. Have it be error-free. Ensure that it talks about how you have had that experience. When we're talking about managing employees, for example, how many employees did you manage? What did you actually do when you were managing employees? Were there performance agreements that you wrote? Did you have bilateral conversations with your employees? How did you mentor them? How did you talent manage them? Give some specifics to what it meant to you to manage employees. Wherever possible, provide 2 examples for each particular experience factor and each competency that is being asked for. If you're screened out of the process at this stage, ask for an informal discussion. You really do want to find out, what were you missing? Good experience to know for the next time so that your next application will be so much better. Now, if you're screened into the process, you're now going to have to prepare for the interview. What does that mean? It means practicing, and practicing some more. So have a friend or a family member ask you questions that you might receive during the board. Have a discussion with one of the employees that might work in that directorate. Talk to your mentor. Talk to your boss. Ask them what you could prepare in terms of that particular position. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Now, you want to gain confidence. In doing so, you could tape record yourself, you could video record yourself. See where you're uncomfortable in the conversation, where you're perhaps finding some silent moments, where you're perhaps having too many ums or ahs, and you're not clearly reflecting what it is you actually want to say. Feel prepared and confident in going into that interview. The night before, make sure that you are boosting your ego. Perhaps watch some TED Talks on building your self-esteem or on gaining confidence. You really do want to have a feeling that you're right for this job and you are going to get it. The morning of the interview, get up, look in the mirror, tell yourself how great you are and that you're going to an interview for the job that's meant for you. When you get to the interview, make sure you talk about exactly what is being asked for. There's two types of questions which typically get asked. One is, tell me about a time when, or the second one being a scenario type of a question. So if you were in this situation, what would you do? Put a bit of a framework around your responses. Start by telling the board what you're going to tell them. Then tell them what you told them. Another way of looking at this is also talking from a broad perspective, narrowing it down to talking about specific details, much like an inverted triangle. If you can, bring into the discussion how you work vertically, how you work horizontally, how you work with your colleagues, with employees, how you perhaps work interdepartmentally if you've had that opportunity, how you work across levels of government if that's what your job entails. Always keep in mind you want to speak about keeping your manager, your supervisor informed. Make sure that you're coming across identifying yourself as the right person for that job. Keep in mind as well that the board is watching you, that they are looking at your body language. They want to see your personality coming across in that interview. So let them know what drives you, what makes you get out of bed in the morning, so that they can get a clear picture of how you would be if you were in that particular position. After the interview, thank the board and leave the interview. As soon as you get out of the interview, my 8th tip is to write down everything that you were asked and every response that you gave. You want to start collecting the questions you're asked in boards. So you've got those for any future boards that you are going to apply for or you're going to be interviewed for. Time and time again, the same types of questions come up on boards. So you'll have a bit of a leg up if in fact you have that list of questions that you've been asked. And the 9th tip is to only provide references that are going to give you a good reference. Make sure that your referees have been advised that you have provided their names to the board. Also, send to your referees the statement of merit criteria so that they also can better prepare themselves for those questions that they will be asked in replying to the process as a referee. Thank your referees for helping you out and keep them apprised of what's going on as the board moves forward. And finally, my last tip is to follow up. So if you're screened out at this stage in the process, after the interview or after the reference checks, you want to go back and find out why. Where was the gap? What were you missing? Because certainly you can use that information in building your learning plan for the coming year or for looking for an assignment in that area where you might have that gap. If you land in the pool, you want to make sure also that you stay in touch with HR to get a sense of when will they be hiring, when will they be filling positions. Keep in contact with them. keep them apprised if you gain any further experience or asset qualifications that would put you into a better position in that process, so that they've got that on record. And finally, make sure you tell your friends, your mentor, your boss, anyone that you know that you're in that pool at that level, because you never know. There might be another position at that same level, similar type of job in another department or another directorate within the department. And you may be able to be referred for that other position through someone you know. So I'm wishing you the best of luck in your career journey. I know you're going to be successful. And thank you very much for listening to me on my tips for nailing a selection process.